I think we're ready to go. We're just waiting for a couple of last people to join us. I think everybody is on board. My name is Enda O'Reilly. I am the school head for healthcare, sport and physical therapies. I'd just like to welcome everybody to the first session in our virtual open evening. All right. So we're going to be running all through the week. We have already started today. We had our first session from 1:15 to 1:45 with our career guidance looking at courses at Cavan Institute. So this is the first of our evening slot. Throughout the week, from 1:15 to 1:45, we have a number of other sessions in terms of our career guidance looking at progression opportunities, upskilling for the unemployed, and student finance is another half-hour section as well. All that information is on our website. Tomorrow as well, we're also going to be hearing a wee bit about our traineeships and apprenticeships at Cavan Institute. And we're going to be hearing from a number of the tutors on that. Emma O'Hart, for example, will be chatting about the healthcare traineeship. So look, at a busy week ahead. In terms of the information on what's going on, our website www.cavaninstitute.ie is our main portal in terms of information for all this week. So that'll give an overview of all the virtual sessions this week, and this week in the evening and during the day. Just keep an eye on our website as well. All the relevant information in terms of our courses, progression opportunities, course fees, everything is on our website. We've a very active social media platform as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So you'll see a whole range of student profiles on our social media outlets. Okay, so look, I think we're ready to go. The first area, I suppose, in our virtual sessions, each session will be a half hour long, and we're going to focus on specific course areas within those half-hour sessions. So our first session is going to focus on healthcare, occupational therapy and emergency care studies. And I'm delighted that we have one of our tutors, Mairead Kelly, who's going to give us an overview of the course area. We're hoping that Margaret Flanagan, a former student, will also be joining us. And we will also be hearing from Orla Maguire, our career guidance here at Cavan Institute. So Orla will be just chatting to us more around progression and employment opportunities. And then I suppose at the end of that, we're going to take some Q&A session. So everybody, just at the top of your screen, you should see a Q&A wee section where you can ask your question, and our team of moderators who are very busy in the background will be walking through those questions. So we've lots of ways for you to ask those questions. That's just one option. We also have a live chat function going on all this week as well. And again, if you have any queries, our email there is on the page there. It's admin@cavaninstitute.ie. So lots of ways to ask questions and lots of ways to engage with us tonight and even after tonight. So look, I think we're going to pass over to Mairead Kelly. So Mairead standing by. I know she's mad to get, she's keen to get talking. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Enda. Hello, everybody. My name is Mairead. I'm one of the healthcare and nursing tutors. I'm going to give you an overview this evening of 3 of our health-related courses: healthcare support, emergency care studies, and occupational therapy assistant. All 3 courses share some common features, so I'll go through those first, and then I'll go into each course area specifically. They're all full-time courses. They're 1 academic year in duration. They all lead to a QQI level 5 qualification in health service skills. Work experience is a mandatory component of all courses, and that gives you the opportunity to consolidate the classroom learning. You do 9 modules in the academic year with a good mix of modules. You'll see it on the course description on our website as well. So I'm not going to bore you by going into all of the modules, but for example, I teach mental health across the 3 courses, and there's also an emphasis on practical skills development on each course, and that takes place in our new healthcare hub as well. Okay. For those of you who worry about exams, don't worry, we have a continuous assessment approach where you're assessed in a variety of ways. Things like assignments, reports, skills demonstrations and oral presentations, with some exams at the end of the year, but it only affects 3 of your modules. You also undertake additional certification in each of the courses, and I'll go into the specifics of that when I'm doing each course. As far as the students that are attracted to the course, we get a diverse mix of students every year. We have school leavers and mature students. Our school leavers, some of them, are unsure really of what area they want to go into, haven't made a career choice as yet, and they're trying out the area of healthcare to see if it's for them. Some of our mature students are looking for a career change or are returning to education after some time. So I'll make a start. I'll go into the healthcare support course. So this course is designed for students who want to work as a healthcare assistant. After the course, you're fully qualified as a healthcare assistant and you can work in a variety of areas such as residential, hospital, the disability sector and community care. You learn on the course how to meet the holistic needs of clients and how to work effectively as part of the healthcare team. In addition to your QQI qualification, you do additional certification such as cardiac first response, patient movement and handling, safeguarding vulnerable adults, and a whole suite of HSE land practical courses. So what this means is that you exit the course not only with your QQI level 5 qualification, but you have a whole package of additional certification that is highly sought by prospective employers. So it's no surprise, I suppose, that most of our students would go directly into employment. So just to give you an example of that, over half of our current students who have just completed the course have secured full-time employment, and most of those were through their work experience placement during the course. Some are working part-time and planning to return to study. For example, I have one student who has applied to Sligo IT to do a social care degree. So there's lots of options, after the course for progression. So Orla will talk you through those when I'm finished. The Emergency Care Studies course then is designed for students who want to work in the area of emergency care. The focus of this course is how to respond to and help people in crisis. You also develop practical skills such as emergency department care skills. You do additional certification as well, people movement and handling, emergency first responder, and you do cardiac first responder that's accredited by the Pre-Hospital Emergency Care Council. And just to give you an example of progression with this course, of our current students, one has been offered employment with the Civil Defence. Some have applied to do the EMT course in Galway, and some have chosen to go into the fire service. And finally then, the Occupational Therapy Assistant course. I suppose the biggest question, or the top question we get, is what is occupational therapy, or what does an occupational therapist do? So the focus really of occupational therapy is to help people reach their potential after experiencing illness or disability. So on this course, you learn how different health conditions impact on the daily lives of individuals and how to aid in their recovery and improvement. The goal of occupational therapy is to help people develop sustainable skills that they can use to improve their quality of life. So it's a very interesting area. We've more and more students been attracted to this course in recent years, and one of the reasons is that the CEO points to get a place on an occupational therapist course, if you want to become an occupational therapist in Ireland to get on the degree course, is well over 500 points. So it's unattainable for many. So there's excellent progression routes from this course onto degrees and even master programs. And we've students who have conditional offers at the minute, who've just completed the course, and one has got a place on the master's degree in Glasgow, actually. So a lot of them are progressing to the UK and having the opportunity to work, and to qualify as an occupational therapist. Last year we resourced a fantastic range of occupational therapy equipment and resources that really prepare you for any OT setting. Additional accreditation on this course then includes cardiac first response and patient movement and handling. And just of our current students, apart from those who've decided to progress on to onto a degree programme, some have actually, one student in particular has got onto the HSE OT assistant panel, and others are hoping to gain employment as occupational therapy assistants. So I'm not really sure if we've Margaret here, our student. I don't think we have. We were hoping to bring in an occupational therapy student. She completed, her name's Margaret, she completed the course in 2019. And when Margaret came to Cavan Institute as a mature student, she was a very busy mother and she worked as a care assistant in the community. But Margaret was really interested in the whole area of occupational therapy. She did really well on the course from the outset. She worked really hard and was really determined to achieve her goal and gain employment as an OT assistant. And I'm delighted to say that she did achieve that goal. And is now working as an OT assistant in the Listarn unit in Cavan. So she works for the HSE. So Margaret may end up being able to join us maybe before the end. So before I pass you on to Orla Maguire, our career guidance counsellor for our school, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to the overview of the 3 courses. If you've any questions, please put them into the discussion tonight and we'll do our best to answer them. Also visit our website and you can email me directly, Mairead Kelly at cmetb.ie, and I would be very happy to answer any queries that you might have. Okay, so I'll pass you over to Orla Maguire. Thank you.
We just seem to be experiencing a slight technical difficulty there, Orla.
All right, sorry, thanks Mairead for that. Okay. And yeah, so we can't get Margaret just in with us, but unfortunately she would have been a great addition to the programme this evening. She's working, as Mairead said, as an OTA assistant, which is a new and upcoming role within the HSE, and I'll touch on that a little bit as I go through my few notes here. So I'm Orla Maguire and I'm a guidance counsellor here in Cavan Institute. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can use any of these healthcare courses for progression either into employment or into higher education. So all of our healthcare related courses are very practical in nature, and all of our students will go on work placement as part of their course. And from this, many students will secure full-time employment in areas such as residential care, disability services, community care and in hospitals. The healthcare assistant students in particular are highly sought after, and many will actually secure part-time employment from as soon as they commence the course, once they have actually started studying. Nursing homes and different organisations are mad to get them in for some work. Some students may feel after doing this particular course or one of these courses that they would like to continue their studies, and here in Cavan Institute we would offer a level 6 healthcare supervisory management course which students from the healthcare, the occupational therapy assistant and the emergency care studies can all progress onto. Other students may wish to complete a higher certificate or maybe go on and do a degree, and both of those options are available. So students can use the level 5 qualification they obtain in Cavan Institute to apply through the CAO for a large number of both healthcare and non-healthcare related ITs and universities around Ireland. And I think that's important to note. A lot of times not a lot, but we would have some students who would come onto these courses and then maybe through doing the course or through the work placements and realise that maybe the world of healthcare isn't actually suited to what they want to do. And that's good. I think it's good for students to figure that out in Cavan Institute rather than when they're in first year of a degree course. So once you have that level 5 qualification, you can use that to apply to over 800 different courses on the CEO that will accept any level 5 qualification. So you can come and do a course, a level 5 ourselves in healthcare assistant, and then apply to go and do social care or childcare or accountancy or business studies or engineer. There's a whole load of different things available. So you're not confined to the area of healthcare. So it's really good to try. I think for working in healthcare, it's what people might say is a vocation. You really have to be passionate about that kind of work. So it's really good to try it for a year before committing to a degree in that area. For the occupational therapy course, as we said, Margaret is finding work with the HSC, secured a role as an OTA assistant, and it seems there is plans to recruit many more in the coming in the coming years. So they're going to be recruiting for OT assistants, physiotherapy assistants, and speech and language therapy assistants. So there will be much more employment opportunities for those assistant type roles in the next next 2 to 3 years. For students wishing to become an occupational therapist, we would support them making an application to go and study in the UK. So they would have to make an application through UCAS, and this would involve preparing a personal statement, filling out quite a comprehensive application form, and then from that they would hope the students would get called for interview. And we would do a lot of work between ourselves, the guidance department and the tutors. We do a lot of work in preparing the students for those interviews to make sure that they're successful. Pre-COVID times, the students would normally go over to Scotland or to England for their interviews, and they get to see the colleges and have a feel for the campus and meet the staff. And that's really, really beneficial in helping you decide which is the best college for you. And based on the course that the students are doing here, the OTA assistant course, lots of our students are getting 4 and 5 offers from each of their applications to UCAS. So really good progression rates for the OT students over in the UK. Our emergency care students then, so a lot of them are finding employment in various areas such as with the fire service, hospital support roles, and some have been successful in the HSC paramedic recruitment process. Some of the other emergency care students, like our OTs, are choosing to continue their studies in the UK. And they are eligible to apply for a variety of paramedic science degree courses all across the UK. And this option is actually very appealing for paramedic students, because if you wish to study paramedic science here in Ireland, down in UL, you have to have your category C1 license. That's the driving license you require to drive an ambulance, and you have to have that license prior to being accepted onto the course. And you have to have held a full license for a number of years before you're allowed to apply for the C1. So most students are 2021 at the very earliest when they're able to get their C1 license. So that can be a real barrier, having to wait for that. In the UK, they're much more open with their applicants. They'll accept students without the C1 license. And then obviously before you start applying for jobs as a paramedic, you would be required to have your C1 license, but it gives you an extra 3 years to get the driving experience behind you and to get that license sorted. So, you know, this allows students to get started much earlier with their paramedic degrees. So they're, you know, in the UK, they would nearly be finishing by the time they're only able to start here. So that's very appealing for our students. Again, they're getting their qualifications, they're able to stay in the UK and work, or some of them will return to Ireland and they're able to take up employment here, both north and south of the border. So here in Cavan Institute, the guidance department is here to support students with all of these different progression opportunities. So throughout the year, we'll host several CAO workshops, and this is to assist students in completing their CAO forms, helping them choose the right courses, putting them in the right order, making sure that they've ticked all the correct boxes for their assessments. For students wishing to go to the UK, we offer extensive support, as I said, with the application form, composing an effective personal statement, which is essential. That's really what the colleges are going to base their shortlisting on, is on that personal statement. So it's really, really important to get it right. And again, between the guidance department and the tutors on the healthcare courses, there's a lot of help and support around the personal statements to make sure that it will get you those interviews. And we will give you a lot of support with the interview prep as well. And then we're also here to support students for, you know, when they start getting the offers in from UCAS and they're trying to decide, where do I want to go, what do I want to do, which college should I pick. So we're here to help with all of those decisions, and so we'll prepare students for that transition over to the UK. And I think it's important to say, sometimes we get students who come to us at the beginning of the year and they think, oh no way, I definitely don't want to go to the UK, I want to stay in Ireland. And we had a student a couple of years ago doing science and labs, and she was applying to do radiography, and she was absolutely no way was she going to go to the UK. But anyway, eventually she did apply just as a backup plan. She applied to the University of Ulster and then 4 other colleges over in the UK. She'd done interviews with all 5 colleges. She got offers from all 5 colleges, including University of Ulster. But she still actually decided to take Robert Gordon over in Aberdeen, because a number of students on her class, from her class, were going as well. She'd been over, she'd seen the college, she'd seen the facilities. It was a master's course as opposed to a degree here in Ireland. It was 4 years as opposed to, you know, having to do extra study here in Ireland. So it was too good an opportunity to pass, and she took it. So some students are a little bit nervous about the idea of going to the UK, but it's much easier once you're here and you've met some friends in a course and you make that transition over together. So that's kind of, I suppose, a lot of the progression in terms of higher education. For students looking to move into the world of work after their time with us here in Cavan Institute, we will help them write a very strong, comprehensive CV and a cover letter that will showcase all the skills and the academic abilities that they've developed from their school and their time in Cavan Institute. And again, when students are getting called for interviews, we're here then to support them with those interview preparation, you know, between preparing for different scenarios, different types of questions. So a lot of work goes into supporting students in that area. And we have a lot of connections, I suppose, in the locality with different businesses and industries. And so companies will often come to us if they have employment opportunities, and you'll see them advertised throughout the college or on the student SharePoint. You'll often see jobs advertised for different vacancies in the area. Fundamental to our work then in the guidance department is ensuring that all students have a successful and enjoyable experience while studying here in Cavan Institute. And to aid this, we organise many initiatives throughout the year. We'll have things like, we do study skill sessions, we'll have mental health awareness days, we have College Awareness Week where we'll introduce colleges from all around Ireland and the UK will come in and give talks to the students so you can ask questions about progression into different courses. We've road safety awareness days, we've loads of different things. You know, not a week goes by that there's something on for students to get involved in and to learn something new. And all of this allows the students to experience a fun, vibrant and rewarding college experience. And that's what we really want for you guys. So I'm going to hand you back to Enda now for our Q&A session. So if you have any questions at all, please do pop them into the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks for that, Orla, and thanks, Mairead. Look, we've a very, very busy Q&A session. I'm just going to flick through some of them. Some of them we just maybe ask Mairead or maybe Orla just to expand on a little wee bit, but our moderators are answering most of those questions. I suppose a common question that is coming in, and I know Mairead has touched on it there as well, particularly around the OT, and Orla has touched on it also, in relation to access here in Ireland and the high points. A lot of our students, as we said during the discussions, do progress on to the UK and Scotland. So it is a very, very competitive process here in Ireland. But look, that's not to say that it doesn't happen, but it is quite competitive. Just in terms of our healthcare, and Mairead, you touched on it there in terms of our students gaining placements, whether it's full-time or part-time, but I'm sure the work experience that the students do when they go out with their employer is quite beneficial for both the student and the employer. The employer probably gets a good, you know, taste for the student and what they can do and what they can't do. What would you think, Mairead? Is the work experience a good kind of, long interview? Let's put it that way.
I know. Yeah, no, we have a whole range of healthcare areas that take our students, you know, and they're really keen to get students because they know they do all the additional certification and they do a lot of practical skill development and interpersonal skills, communication skills, all that sort of thing, well in advance of them going out on placement. So we've a good track record of our students being really warmly received out there, and they do really well on placement. And an awful lot of them actually from the healthcare support course get offers of employment. So that's great, and they make a really good impression out there. And yeah, the students really enjoy the placements as well.
Very good. I think you touched on it there that prior to going out on placement rate, a lot of the students cover a lot of the practical element of their courses prior to obviously going out, you know, which is hugely beneficial. And look at they are I suppose you don't want to use the term work ready, but they are ready to get up and go, and even though it's quite early in their course. So I know a big part of our courses, particularly in the healthcare area, is all around dual certification. So our students are coming in getting their QQI level 5 at the end of the year, but we also put on a number of courses during the year where students are certified. And I know you have touched on that there in terms of the patient moving and handling, cardiac first responder. Like, these qualifications are essential prior to our students going out on placement. So yeah, I look at, and that's standing to our students in terms of getting subsequent employment. I suppose one other thing as well in terms of our work placement, and what we've been very active over the past 10 years is our whole Erasmus placements. So a lot of our students have gone on placement in terms of Erasmus. Our OT students have gone to the UK, have gone to Scotland, EFR students as well. So they satisfy their work placement while they're working abroad as part of the work, or as part of Erasmus, and it's fully funded as well. So I'm just keeping an eye on time, folks, because I don't want to be eaten into the next half-hour slot. What time are we? 26. Have we time for one more question, maybe? Orla, we'll put you on the spot, maybe, will we? I know. Again, just before we do that, just take one quick question. So at the bottom here, the healthcare course, how much of it will be online? I heard colleges will have a lot online next year. I suppose, look, at the moment, that's quite hard to answer. Our plan is that students will be back on site in September, but look, that's just kind of outside of our control at the moment. But look, we're working towards getting students back on site. There may be an element of online for some theory elements of the program, but for all practical elements of the program, it is our intentions that students will be back on site. Another question coming in here is fees. What are our fees? So everything on our everything in terms of course information, progression, fees is all on our website, www.cavaninstitute.ie. We have a lovely brand new website, folks, so take a few minutes. All the information is there. If you can't find it, which shouldn't be an issue, you should be able to find it. Just email us admin@cavaninstitute.ie. So I might just take one more. We're not too bad. The course is approximately 18. Okay, so look, at our moderators are kind of really busy walking away. Folks, if you do have a question after the session, after the half-hour session, because we're going to move on to nursing now, keep putting in your question. It is a live session, all right? So we're going to keep going. We're going to just stop for a 2-minute break here, but you keep your questions coming in. Keep your questions coming in, and we'll answer them, folks, as we walk through it.